start. Sure. Good evening, members. I hope you all enjoying lockdown Sunday with this program. I think so. It's the 8th program we are conducting continuously for lockdown periods. On behalf of Kumbakonam and VELLORE branch of SARC of ICAI, I welcome all members to this virtual CPE program. I warmly welcome our today's speaker, Ca.Gopala Krishna Raju sir, to this meeting. Welcome, sir. He is a versatile speaker and he can speak any subject in simple and effective manner. Welcome, sir. Today's topic is on new income tax return. Central Board of Direct Tax has issued new income tax forms with several changes for the assessment year 2021. Income Tax Department has issued new ITR 1 Sahaj, 2 ITR 3, ITR 4 Sugam, and ITR 567, and also new ITR verification forms. Income Tax Department had earlier withdrawn ITR 1 and ITR 4 to incorporate the changes made in the income tax rules in the wake of coronavirus pandemic. Taxpayers must assess their tax liability and make sure that they maximize Section 80C benefits. The Tax Department also revised IT forms to follow assessee to avail benefits on various timelines extension granted by the government following coronavirus pandemic. New forms also request the taxpayer to disclose their savings, donation, and investment made during the financial year 2019-20 and first quarter of 2021, respectively. IT department usually notifies ITR form in the first week of April of the relevant year. This year, though the department notifies form 1 and 2 in January, after coronavirus pandemic has revised the forms and has notified all the forms in the last week of May. There are a lot of changes has been introduced for the assessment year 2021. Well, if you have taxable income as dividend from domestic company, you are not eligible to file ITR 1 form or Suham. Those who are with joint ownership of house property cannot file ITR 1 or ITR 4 forms. Most importantly, IT department has made it now mandatory for assessee to file IT returns for high value transactions like deposit in current account over 1 crore rupees, and electricity bill over 1 lakh rupees, and spending on foreign trip over 2 lakhs rupees. New ITR form shows that government is making effort to plug leakages. With this welcome note, I invite VELLORE branch chairman to introduce our today's speaker to this August gathering. Sir, you can unmute, sir.
Hello.
It's audible, sir.
Okay. Good evening, members. On behalf of VELLORE and Kumbakonam branch of SARC of ICAI, I am invited to introduce our today's speaker, Mr. CA Dr. Gopala Krishna Raju, as we commonly called as GKR. He is a practicing chartered accountant, a registered insolvency professional, and a registered valuer from Chennai. GKR served consecutive 3 terms of 9 years from 2010 to 19 as a regional council member of SARC of ICI. GKR have been recently awarded Honorary Directorate in Governance of GST in Government Sector by Mother Teresa University, Melbourne, Australia. GKR is an independent director of Data Bank who are qualified with distinction. The online proficiency self-assessment is conducted by Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, India. Other qualifications is a qualified valuation of and limited insolvency examination of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, associate member of the ICAI and ICSI, twin postgraduate diploma holder in Operation Research and in Financial Management from Pondicherry University. He is an MPhil in Management from Tamil Nadu Open University, and also a qualified information system auditor from our institute. He holds 8 national stock certification in financial markets from NSEIL. And apart from that, GSR has authored 2 books, Standard Costing and Variance Analysis and First Lessons in Information Technology for CS students, with the 2 editions. GCAI is a seasoned speaker on information technology, finance and taxation, and a visiting guest faculty for numerous institutions, corporates, and B schools. GCAI is the member of the Institute of Directors, Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, and Madras Management Association, and life member of the Society of Auditors, the Chartered Accountants Study Circle, and an active Rotarian. The nominated is member of the various boards like Valuation of Standard Boards, Academic Board, and also other various colleges and universities. A passionate writer on technology and taxation in numerous journals and newspapers, columnist in Tamil Daily, The Hindu in Tamil, and weekly Tamil magazine, Nanaya Megadan and Priya Talamari Kalvi, regularly appears interviewed in numerous TV channels and Tamil FM radio, including DD Padigai, Jaya TV, News 18 Tamil Nadu, Kaveri News, FM radio, Rainbow, etc. As a versatile speaker, GCAI has addressed more than 400 meetings on GST to various forums, including professional bodies, Chamber of Commerce, industry, and trade associations in both English and Tamil. With this, I invite the speaker to take charge. Okay, thank you. Okay, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. A very good evening to one and all, and a special thanks to
Good evening.
CA Visagan from Tanjavur, Chairman of Kumbakonam branch of SIRC, CAK Sundaravaradan, Chairman of VELLORE branch of SIRC, senior members of Kumbakonam branch, VELLORE branch, and all past chairmen of Kumbakonam branch and VELLORE branch. And especially we have one more very important guest from Andhra Pradesh, from Anantapur branch, Vice Chairman of Anantapur branch, CA Ratna Gupta. And my dear friends, professional friends, colleagues, a very warm good evening to one and all. At the outset, let me thank both the branches, Kumbakonam as well as VELLORE, for giving this wonderful opportunity on that too on a Sunday. And most important, I must thank every participant who have joined online here. So being a holiday, and I wish to actually share your time and also update yourself with respect to subject. Number one, with respect to this topic is, I'm sure every year, right from 2007 onwards, we are now in 2020. So it's almost 2007 to 2020, 13 years. It's a e-filing era. Now I'll just, for the first 5 minutes, I will take, now the time is 4:39, 4:40. I will actually take you through for maybe 1 hour plus up to, so 1 hour to 20 minutes. We'll have an understanding of the various changes that has been brought out. Not only the changes, but also the challenges. So, and what are the probable steps we need to actually take so that we are well prepared for the filing season. This year is going to be very unique. I repeat, this year is going to be very unique, where both the years, 2 years, that is assessment year 1920, as well as assessment year 2021, the extended due date of assessment year 1920 and the original due date, which has also been extended for assessment year 2021, has been synchronized. So it's a very unique year where, and I'm sure in the years to come, this period is going to be a very unique period for us to actually maybe to remember itself, it's going to be very nightmarish because of the challenges. And I'm sure as the days we are going very close to filing data, if at all we make this period what is available to us, the pandemic lockdown period, by spreading across our commitments, professional commitments with respect to finalization of accounts. Who files the return is the next question. But if the accounts have been audited and finalized, I am sure filing of return should not be an issue. And I am sure with respect to the changes that has been brought out, there requires more amount of time. Let me first start with you for 5 minutes, an intro about the various, I repeat, the various data about income tax. This is the first data I want to share with you. Maybe even though it is a 1 year old data. This is as on 31/3/2019, almost more than a year old data. So almost 44.57 crore PAN has been allotted so far. And out of that, 97%, 97.5% is an individual PAN. And why I'm mentioning this number, after this I'll show you how many of these have actually filed returns. So out of this 43.5, hardly we can even say not even 20% of them have filed returns as far as individuals is concerned. So who have been allotted PAN, out of that only lesser than that. So we can even take so close to 5% only, and even more than that. And as far as the other entities are concerned, maybe the next bigger rank, maybe after 97.65%, the next big rank is the 1% criteria, which is 44.32 lakhs. That is with respect to partnership firm. Across length and breadth of the country, only 44 lakh firms have got PAN. Now, how many of them have filed? I'm going to show you the next data. So this is the assessment year 18-19 income data, which has been filed category wise. I repeat, category wise. Maybe if you look at it, the total income that is being declared in various forms, the total is 53.58 lakh crore. 53.58 lakh crore, and the tax liability is 8 lakh crore. The expected or projected, I repeat, the projected tax liability, I mean the projected tax collections is not 8.07, it's actually 10 lakh crores. So we are, the actual return filing data is short of 25%. So those are all the other aspects. Now I just want to share with you how much is business income out of this. It's almost 50%. And the another, I will say 20% is salary income. So 50 plus 20, 70 is gone there. And I want you to kindly pay your attention to property income. This year, they have made a focus on this property income. And if you take the property income, it is not even, it is 62,765. So it is slightly above 1%. 62,765 crore is the income that has been declared. Slightly above 1%. So not even 1.5% or 2% of the total income that are being declared. So this is the scenario, and what does it show? Meaning there are huge property income still not being disclosed. Now let us keep this in mind. I am taking you to another interesting number. Now all this will have a relativity when I am actually going to present before you some of the major changes that has been brought in ITR. From a macro perspective, I'll try to connect with this. So this is the growth of, please look at the 6-year growth, especially the PAN number of persons who have actually filed their I'll just take this ground below. Number of persons who were filing their income tax return, that is the tax return filers. Please look at this. Of course, for the past 6 years, the numbers have doubled. The numbers have doubled. And of course, please look at the individuals. From 3 crore return, it has now become 6 crore return. So 5.95 is almost 6 crore return for financial year 18-19. So that's the number for you. And please look at the, I will say, the firm. Just now you saw, maybe for comparison purpose, I'll just show you the number of firm who have been allotted PAN is almost 44 lakh. And the number of filers with respect to firm is hardly 13.18 lakh. So that is the number. So maybe we can take this as close to 25%, 25 to 26% is the, so still the larger part of the assessees, even PAN allottees are not filers. So there are huge expectations, especially from the, there is one more, what do you say, the theory is there, that not necessary that all the PAN allottees should be an income tax filers. But that cannot be this big number. That cannot be this big number, especially the reverse can happen. 75% are return filers, 25% of the allottees are non-return filers. Maybe because they, even though they hold a PAN, they don't have an income. So, but the reverse is only has happened. That is a fact. Now, this is with respect to the growth percentage. So, which just to give you an information. Now, the first point I want to drive with respect to assessment year 2021. Point number one. This year, the ITR acknowledgement form is going to be like this. So, generally, the moment you file a return, you have your gross income, and I mean, the various deductions total, tax paid, refund, that due, all this stuff will be there. And that is equivalent to an acknowledgement. People are happy with that. And with respect to all banks or financial institutions, if you are file your return, please give me the ITRV. Now, henceforth, ITRV is not going to serve any purpose. It will only serve only one purpose. Purpose number one, that online it has been filed. Purpose number two, please, once you get this ITRV, collect your fees. That is the second purpose. Whether the guy is going to sign it and send it, all this stuff is different. So that is why this EVC, the point they want to drive is, there is a huge, what do you say, manual process. Even though they have mechanized it, the entire ITR process has been mechanized. This one small part, I will say a mundane part, very mundane. Okay. So signing, sending, and then they have to collect it, they have to scan it, upload it, then match it. Sometimes they themselves have a problem with respect to the signed copy will go, they would have missed it in the batches. All this stuff is happening. And there are processes in many offices until this acknowledgement, e-acknowledgement is confirmed. So they don't collect their fees like ritual it has been happening. So even our professional process also we need to actually change. So it's good that if we receive in advance and render the service, that's one thing very nice. But our professional work with respect to filing, any support services with respect to filing support services, ITRV, once it is generated, our role gets stopped there. And that is where they have made it a mandate that if you are doing by manual signature, this is what you are going to generate. And unless and otherwise you do by the electronic verification code using the other pre-validated bank account number, demat account number. So those stuff and all, I'm sure all of you know this. So if at all we are not verifying using digital signature or EVC, please look at this. Alternatively, you may e-verify the electronically transmitted data using your Aadhaar OTP or login or e-filing account through net banking login, or EVC obtained generated using pre-validated bank account, demat account, and EVC generated through bank ATM. So all these options they have given. Point is, once you have uploaded, please close it. So this year, I'm sure the number of EVCs will go. So everything they don't want even to interact with the assessee with respect to their signatures. No, I don't even want your signature, because that is actually a big load, a big, what do you say, a mundane activity for the income tax department. So that also they are, rather than doing away with this, maybe we are now in 2020. I will tell you guys, by 2022 or 2024, maximum, another 2 years or 4 years, this will be done. That means the signature, sending, and then getting your acknowledgement will be done. So, point to be noted, what is your old process? You sign it, send it, then the filing process, the what do you call it as e-filed data will be processed. Now, only when you file it and it gets acknowledged, in the income tax portal, you will get the ITRV acknowledgement with the full details. What do you call it as a summary of your income details. Then only the cycle gets completed. After that, your cycle gets completed, and after that, the processing cycle starts. So this is the main change which they have brought, that is ITRV. Second point I want to take you with respect to this is, already Mr. Visagan gave a brief about the various types of forms. So I will not bore you with the types of forms, but I want to go into the micro aspects of the forms. What are the form numbers for whom? That is not a big stuff for discussion in a professional forum. Maybe if at all you have questions on the forms for whom, maybe at that time I will take it. But I want to take some of the very, very important changes which they have brought. The second is, which they have brought this year, is with respect to bank account. And all of us, we know that they have the process of, there used to be time when refund used to come by check. Now that is also becoming a nuisance, because the addresses have been changed, and the check goes to some address, and the assessee is actually shifting. And a lot of, what do you call it as, unnecessary points gets escalated, which is for no reason. And ultimately, a refund is gone. So it is actually a process. That process, until the check reaches, so the address should be there live. Now, the reverse also happens. Sometimes I don't give an address, check doesn't come, and bank account credit. These guys, they will give a bank account to the filers, the tax filers, one bank account detail, and the next day they'll go and close that bank account. So and they will not even inform, or they will close a bank account, that closed bank account they will give. And where is the verification check for a CA firm or for a filer, the tax return filers, to actually check whether that bank account is live or not. So whatever data is giving, we actually take it, and then the person is actually filing it. So here, this year onwards, there is a process, and the process in income tax department, all of us, we know that the department will, the CPC, which is a processing center, the central processing center, return processing center. It's called the return processing center. And once the return is processed, the 143.1, the processed refund, it is actually credited in batch form. In batch, what do you call it as 1 lakh assessees? 1 lakh assessees, they will take the total, give that bucket to a refund banker. A refund banker is a service provider to the income tax department. So like State Bank of India or any bank, they have a separate vertical. They only do collect the data, because it will be huge data. Okay, so the records will be huge. So name, address, bank account, MICR, IFSC, ITR, PAN number, everything will be there. So no manual intervention. So they give the data, the amount will be transferred from the department to the bank, and the banker will actually debit that particular escrow account, tap, debit and credit. Now what happens with this guy, this refund banker will be left out with some money, that escrow account will be left out. Whose money? It is actually, money has to be given back to the assessee. Assessee not traceable, the bank account is not there, now what to do with it? So, Tamil pona machan thirumbi vanda. So, the moment this has been flashed, that electronic transfer, ECS transfer, ECS credit, it goes and it gets reflected back. So, it bounces back, saying that the account is not there, not active. Account is inactive or account is closed, some stuff will be there. Now, what to do? This is what the data that has been provided by the income tax assessee. Then again, the manual process will perform. So he has to go, then give. So here, the income tax department officer will be very annoyed. This is not my job. This is your mistake, your problem. You are coming and you are asking, this is my job. This is not my job. So all this stuff they want to actually avoid. So how do we avoid all this? So the best way is to give multiple bank accounts. So that is why they have said, in case multiple accounts are selected for refund credit, then refund will be credited to one of the account decided by CPC after processing the return. So in case the assessee has given 3 bank accounts and one bank account goes returns, reason can be many, wrong data entered, okay. So the mismatching of the inputs, account number is there, but the other data that has been given is mismatching. So then go to the next bank account, next bank account. So that is why better to give more than one bank account. So in other way, the assessee is also, oh, is it so? We'll give that bank account, we'll give this bank account. Then only the auditor will know. This account you haven't told, for refund purpose you are giving this bank account. So this year you have to very nicely, you have to put this point to all the assessee. Assessee, this you have given one bank account. In case this bank account is not, the refund is not coming to this, they are asking other bank account to credit refund. Oh, then give that bank account number, this bank account number. So they say you can give 3 or 4 bank accounts. So he will be very overjoyed to actually declare all the bank accounts in the, what do you say, to expect the credit from the income tax department. And already they know all the details about the assessee. So it is best that they actually come out very clean. So this is the second aspect which is very important in this particular year. So multiple bank accounts can be selected. So all of us, we know the due date has been shifted to 30th of, I repeat, 30th of November. But I want to make one point very clear, that this Finance Act 2020, the tax audit report is required to be filed 1 month before the due date of filing of return of income. So that is one new change they have brought. So therefore, even though the tax filing date, the last date has been extended up to 30th of November, this year is very unique year. I repeat, this year is going to be a very different year. And maybe we'll never have a year like this in our generation. In our generation, we are not going to have like this. And children's or even seniors or even professionals like us, teachers, businessmen, entrepreneurs, everybody, government, this year is going to be in the memory for lifetime, for generations. So therefore, the filing time, rather than sitting in office for the hours and doing it, I think we need to plan accordingly from today itself, from tomorrow, from Monday onwards. We have to plan very nicely, systematically, that whatever our obligations with respect to the tax audits have to be completed on time. Maybe we can even do it 1 month before, and the due date month we can aram say sit and relax. And maybe if the last minute somebody is jumping and coming, we can help them. Now, that is with respect to due date. Coming to the fourth point. Third point is due date. The fourth point is, this is a major change they have brought. I thought this change, especially 285BB, this change I was expecting they may implement it slowly. They may implement it slowly, but I think the COVID-19 pandemic situation has made the entire income tax department to focus and then do everything and thrash it out before time, except for the model, except for the returns, ITR returns, which generally they used to actually notify in the month of April itself, and few of the forms by this time it should have been active. So that has only been delayed for various reasons we know. Now, this particular notification which came on the month of 28th of May 2020, they have actually brought out that this 31AB rule will be omitted. Rule number, what is 31AB? That is your form number 26AS. And after 114H, you will have this 114I. So this 114I is the rule which is being inserted. It has been inserted. And under this particular rule, I want all of you to just read that 3 lines of, just those 3 lines, which is very, very important, which says, the PDG of income tax systems or the DGIT systems or any person authorized by him shall, under section 285BB, upload in the registered account of the assessee. Upload. What is registered account of the assessee? PAN number. An annual information statement, AIS, in form number 26AS. So the same form number 26AS is now enriched. So previously, this form number 26AS was originally called as an annual consolidated credit statement. So there used to be one very nice movie by Mani Ratnam called Roja. It is a national award film where the groom will be, who's Aravind Swamy will be the groom. And when there will be some lot of, very senior grandmas will be there. And one grandma will say, I want to ask a question to this groom. So the director will keep a very nice, lovely scene there. The grandma will ask, what is the salary you have been earning and where you have been working? These two we want to know because our bride has to be taken care well by you. So if the same scene, if Mani Ratnam shoots in 2020, Roja Part 2 with Aravind Swamy and Madhubala, the same grandma today they will ask a question like this. What is that question? We want to get a 26AS printout of Aravind Swamy. Because in 26AS printout, the entire financial horoscope of the groom will be available. Not only the income and income credit details, but also the debit details, but also the specified financial transaction details. What is it? The demand and refund, pending proceeding, any notice that has been issued, because nowadays it is not only e-filing, it all started with E. So even Rajmouli's very popular movie is E only. Okay, it all started with E. So e-filing, e-return, now e-penalty, then e-assessment, then e-tribunal, and what do you call it as e-hearing. Everything is E. They are only having huge infrastructure. I don't know what the income tax department they will do with that. They can't even let it out that property. But only officers have to sit and they have to open like this and interact with the assessee only through the camera and video conference. Now, please look at this. The item number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of the 6 items, item number 1 was already there. Item number 3 was already there. Item number 4 was already there. So, out of 6 items, 3 items were already there. And item number 2, few items were already there, like purchase of property. That was already there. So, it is not that this annual information system 26AS is something new. It is already there, but enriched a lot, slightly enriched a lot. But in the process, many things are open. So, let me tell you, not only the pending proceedings, but also completed proceedings. So, in future, the 26AS alone can become an income proof alone. And maybe some of the compliances which he has to do. For example, there is a need for a refund to be got, then filing of return is mandatory. So in case everything has been captured and tax has been rightly been paid or short paid, that is the time he has to file return. Or if it is excess paid, he has to necessarily file his return. Or as an obligation, I have to file my return. That is another part, another story of it. But 26 AS is going to be a wholesome info about an SSE. So now that is your fourth point. Now, fifth point, let me take you to the next one. So this year, I thought this 26 AS annual information statement will be deferred. Okay, I thought the old format will be there, but to your surprise, please look at this. This date is actually 28th of May 2020, and it was notified from 1st of June 2020. So April, May, only 60 days. Okay, in this financial year, 1st June it is been notified, applicable. And what it says, which is in his possession within 3 months from the end of the month in which the information is received by him. So 3 months. So applicable date is 1st June. So 3 months means, so March, April, May, June 1st onwards. So March month the data also he is supposed to actually show an annual information statement. So therefore 1920, I repeat, 1920 also comes under this particular 19.20, what do you say, the financial year, otherwise called assessment year 2021 also falls under this, even though they have notified it only with respect to this section has been notified only in the Finance Act 2020, 285 BB. It is actually a new section in the Finance Act 2020. Good. So that is one very interesting step they have brought. And all of us, we already know about this 285 BA, which is the previous section, the obligation to file the annual information return. And as you know very well that what is SFT is, the transaction with respect to the property, service, works contract, investments, and acceptance of loan or deposit. They have actually classified this into the 13 transactions. So out of this 13 transactions, person-based reporting, anything above 10 lakhs. So these are all the limits with respect to bank draft, prepaid instruments, time deposits, the credit card payment in cash above 1 lakh or non-cash if it crosses 10 lakh. That means by bank payment, purchase of bonds, shares, buyback of shares, mutual fund purchase, foreign currency purchase, all 10 lakhs. The only place where it is above 2 lakhs is for cash payment for goods and services. This is actually, you have another version of it in 269 ST, where any cash receipts in excess of 1,99,999, 1,99,999. So it will actually attract a penalty. So that is actually be a prohibition given in 269 ST. So all this seems to be a very wholesome provision. So ultimately the best thing is to plan a transaction, something like Vadivelu in a very popular film, Tamil film, they will say, எதையுமே plan பண்ணி தான் செய்யணும் அப்படின்னு. So all this gives you that even though it is jovially being said by Vadivelu, it actually has a lot of meaning. Good. Now, please come to the account-based reporting. Here, we already know this, that the cash deposit in one or more account other than a current account and time deposit, meaning the savings account, which is reported by a banking company. And all of us, we know this, that even in a bank audit also, we have this reporting which is done to FIU-IND, the Financial Intelligence Unit, where the banks, they report any, that is called CTR, cash transaction report, suspicious transaction report, and counterfeit currency report. So these three reports they have to report, and especially cash deposit exceeding 10 lakhs in a month, that will come under the, what you call as the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So an equivalent of that or a reflection of that, they have brought as an SFT-004 transaction. So here SFT 03 and 04 is missing here. So 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 13 is there. So the other part is what you are seeing here, and the 12 is with respect to the immovable property transaction, which is already there. So even though all these are already there in the law, now they have integrated. In the past, this fourth and fifth point, the data will be with the department. Even though data is with the department, but they will not divulge it to the assessee. So, I know about you, but I will not tell. You tell what is your income tax. You tell about your income. You file your income tax return properly. But today, the word that has been, I must actually salute to the entire team and the people that has been gone, and what our Honorable Prime Minister made an announcement a few days back, honoring the honest. There he used a very important word called transparency. See, transparency, you cannot expect only from the assessee, you be transparent, and department, I won't be transparent. That is not correct. Now, by bringing this 285 BB, they are making department also transparent. I know about you, and this is your report. I know about you. So then what happens? As an assessee, I'm obligated. And this year, I'm telling you, my friends, you will get what do you call it as voluntary compliance. People, assessee, they themselves will come voluntary, and then they will say, I'm getting a lot of notices. Please ensure that you file your return on time, because 26 AS is now going to be a very complete financial horoscope of a person. So therefore, the impact of that in income, is going to be very tremendous on only chartered accountants. My friends, my chartered accountant friends is only going to appreciate and understand the tax impact of it. So that is why I am very driving this point very much. Sixth point of our discussion. 139.1 7th Proviso. 139.1 7th Proviso. All of us, we are aware about this 139.1. And these are the 3 points which they have brought. And this is a nutshell, that is a snapshot from the form I have just taken it. That this is there not only in ITR 1, but also in ITR 2, ITR 3, as well as in ITR 4. In all this 4, it is there, except starting from ITR 5, 6, and 7. So ITR 1, 2, 3, 4, it is there. Let us understand one thing very clearly, that we all know that as per 139.1, if my total income, that is my gross income, I repeat, gross income doesn't cross the income which is not taxable, then I am not obligated to file the return. But 139.1 says, if your income crosses the income which crosses the amount which is not taxable, that is 2,50,000, then under 139.1, as per the due date, I am obligated to file return. But please look at this sentence very clearly. Are you filing return of income under 7th Proviso to section 139.1, but otherwise not required to furnish a return of income? This is the point we need to actually be very clear. So, what it says, provided also that a person referred in class B who is not required to furnish a return under subsection and who during the previous year. Now, what is the meaning of this? I am not supposed to file a return of income under 139.1. That means I don't have income. I don't have a taxable income, or my taxable income is below 2.5 lakhs. My taxable income is below, my gross income is below 2.5 lakhs, not my taxable income. Now, point to be noted here, are you filing return of income under 7th Proviso, but otherwise not required to file? Yes. So, if you are filing your return of income under regular 139.1, because my gross income has crossed 2.5 lakhs, you will only tick no here. Tick no means the 3 boxes, 3 lines, you need not fill it. You need not fill it. But the moment I get attracted, that means I am not a routine return filer. That is why I gave that particular statistics, guys. The beginning. Why I gave that particular statistics, I'm going to connect that statistics with respect to 139 1 year, 7th Proviso. Now, please look at the second or the third condition. I will come from the third condition. Please look at subclass 3. Has incurred expenditure of an amount or aggregate of amounts exceeding 1 lakh rupees towards consumption of electricity. Govinda. Now, please look at this. It's my house property, my self-occupied house property. Self-occupied house property, even if in a family, the family is very big. For example, 4 are there, 5 are there, even 8 are there or 10 are there, ground and first floor. If it is a family, per month or 2 months, once in 2 months only you get that electricity meter reading. Even if it is per month or once in 2 months, 20,000, or once in 2 months it is 20,000. That means per month it should cross 10,000. So then only into 12 means 1,20,000. That is only possible if it is commercial. If I am using it for my home purpose, I repeat, even if you use, I repeat, even if you use for maybe air conditioner and other things, I don't think you will cross 4,000 or 5,000 maximum. I repeat, 4,000 or 5,000 maximum. And this particular, what do you say, this the COVID-19 period, there has been some disturbance with respect to Ca.Gopala meters, the way they are actually calculated it for the continuously for 2 months or 3 months meter reading. They have done some stuff, but that is also being corrected. So this 1 lakh, I have been, our firm has been the statutory auditor for Ca.Gopala. So especially myself, I was the signatory for the balance sheet for 4 years. And I used to ask a lot of statistics and I used to get inputs about the service. They are called as service units. They don't call them as customers. They are called as service units. Service units. And each service unit. So sometimes the connections and they have the right statistics with respect to how many households are, what do you call it as residential, how many households are commercial. They have the Pakka statistics. Very good. And there they have recently been, they have a very traditional system. Now they have moved to an online system. So even though they are making a loss making, that is totally a politically decided decision, they have huge data. And all these jetcos across length and breadth of the country, not only in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, all jetcos, these data are with central government. And these data, and I want to make one more observation here. Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, every year in their post-budget memorandum, they have made a mandate to the Ministry of Finance. What is the mandate? How to expand the assessee base. Very simple. Those assessees, I mean, those of the service unit, electricity service unit, per annum, those who pay about 25,000 per annum. It has been recommended by ICAI. You can even now go and see. 25,000 only has been recommended, which has been increased to 1 lakh by the budget itself. So this is a long-standing pending, I will say, recommendation of ICAI. Only thing is it was not 1 lakh, it was lesser than that. Now they have included it. Now you already saw how much of the total income, taxable income, what is the percentage of your house property income? It is hardly 1% above, less than 1.5% of the total income declared. So if I earn 100 rupees, not even 1.5 rupees is the property income. So it is a very unique what do you say, the statistics which is there, and there are huge property incomes which are not assessed to tax, Now there are twin advantage in this particular point. It is like taking a small thread and then pulling, and then a very big whale will come. What is that very big whale? When I pull, I will get to know who and all are not filing return with respect to the property income. Once the property income is exposed, the next question will come, how the property came. Okay, how the property came. From where the money came for that property. So, it is a, நம்ம தமிழ்ல சொல்ற மாதிரி சின்ன மீனை போட்டு பெரிய மீனை எடுக்கிறது. So, therefore, anybody who is actually coming out for suggestion, the best suggestion is do not tick this as, are you filing return of income under 7th provision? No, I will file under normal method. I will file under normal method and I will become a normal person, not under this. Because the moment you do this, there are more skeletons in the cupboard will be coming out. So that is this is the theme, and I am sure my chartered accountant friends both in Kumbakonam and VELLORE can understand this. And there is going to be a nalla veta government. And those after this proviso, 7th proviso also, if those assessees are not filing return, already I am not filing return, under 139(1) 7th proviso also, this year I will not file. Take my word, JETCO, already TANJETCO, they have shared their data with central government. You know, Tamil Nadu government is only by namesake, it is only AIDMK, but you know who is actually doing the real governance here. So already data is with the government of India. All JETCO data is with the government of India. So the next notices that will come to all service unit holders. All service unit holders who have paid their electricity bill above 1 lakh. They are going to, please look at this, has incurred expenditure of an amount or aggregate of amount exceeding 1 lakh rupees towards consumption of electricity. Now, Aadhaar data, now electricity data, PAN data, income tax filed data. This is called big data. This is called big data. Keeping this big data, they'll compare this and compare, and then reports will come. In that report, if the consumption of electricity, they have Aadhaar, they don't have PAN, they don't file return, they have Aadhaar, they don't have PAN, or they have PAN but they don't file return, all of them are going to get very good clear notices that under this section you have filed, under this particular proviso, we have information that the electricity bill has crossed it. So this year, along with the PAN card, along with the Aadhaar card, we need to also see the white card. And what is white card? That is the electricity consumption. So that is your 7th, 139(1) proviso, 7th proviso. Now, not only this part, now for example, my good friend Shanmugam is there. Shanmugam from Kumbakonam. Ayya, Shanmugam irkingla? Good. So Shanmugam sir is a very nice person. So he is so social. So he will even book air ticket for us, train ticket for us, and he will take care. The hospitality of Mr. Shanmugam is so nice. We will never feel that we are in Kumbakonam. Of course, I always feel, because Kumbakonam is my mother's place, I always feel Kumbakonam is at home for me. But for others, they always feel Kumbakonam is any speaker who comes. Now, Mr. Shanmugam has taken one more additional responsibility. Yes, Mr. Raju, and yes, Mr. Subramaniam, and yes, Mr. other person. For 5 of us, I will book a ticket to Indonesia. Indonesia, I will book a ticket. And Mr. Shanmugam has booked the ticket, air ticket, for all 5 of us. And each ticket is costing actually 60,000 rupees. So 60 into 5 is 3 lakhs. So therefore, in his span, he is obligated to actually answer. He has incurred expenditure of an amount or aggregate of amount exceeding 2 lakhs. So this is going to be a very big challenge for all the assessees or those who are not an assessee who has actually taken a air ticket or travel ticket. Okay, expenditure exceeding 2 lakh for himself or any other person for travel to a foreign country. So air ticket, the amount would have been debited to P&L account. So travel agent would have been very clear. So therefore, the bank statement, the electricity bill, and most important, this part. This is a place I am sure my friends, my professional friends will actually debate with me. we can have a Nia Nana debate here for this particular provision. And what is a Nia Nana debate? Please look here. Has deposited. Very carefully they have brought this word. Very carefully. Very careful. They have not used a word called cash deposit. But can I interpret it as cash deposit? Yes, I can interpret. Yes, I can interpret. But I want you to focus on three words. One is the deposit an amount or aggregate of amount exceeding 1 crore rupees in one or more current account. In one or more current account maintained with a banking company or a cooperative bank. You now understand why cooperative banks has been brought under Reserve Bank of India. Recently, just through 2 or 3 months back in April, there was a silent notification. Silent notification, and many people, many of our chartered accountant friends, they are actually been contemplating bank audit this year. We never went to bank, but we did bank audit. Next year, we will never go to bank, and audit also will not be there. No, please take my word. Bank audit will be there. Cooperative bank audit also is going to be there now. And the number of cooperative banks that has come inside Reserve Bank of India is so much. It's almost 1,600 plus cooperative banks have come, and just multiply the number of branches they have. For example, Tamil Nadu Pandya Gramin Bank, how many branches they have? So every cooperative bank, they are subject to the regulations of Reserve Bank of India now. Now, point to be noted, every account, the deposit and amount aggregate of the amount exceeding 1 crore rupees. Credit side alone, I have my view. I will just give my view. My view can be debated. My view can be debated, and it is a healthy debate only. My view alone I will give here. The word is called deposit. It is not, the word is called credit. So can I interpret it as only cash deposit? This is one side. There is another side of interpretation. What is it? Definitely in my current account, interest is not going to be credited. So then what will be credited? Only my transaction amount. So take the total of the transaction amount. Is it above 1 crore? So this is another way of interpretation. Should that be treated as a deposit or credit? So this is a place where I don't have an answer. I can only give my view. So my understanding is any current account, and point number one, if a guy hasn't filed his return of income in his lifetime, but doing business aram se, and he comes to know, or you come to know that you have advised him properly that you have to file your return, he shows you the current account. Now whether the deposit should be included only cash deposit or other than cash deposit, my understanding, it should be even, because the word cash is not there. We should even take all the credit, especially in the credit side, all credit, other than what you call it as the netting it off and all. So there can be other interpretation also. No. How can you say full credits you have to take above 1 crore? Okay, all those are, many are bank transactions. So I'll only take cash deposit. But here the interpretation is very, very generic. So therefore, unless and otherwise the government is coming out with a very clear, nowhere the government is giving a clarity with respect to this particular point. So let us be prudent with respect to interpretation of this term. So that is my view here. Now coming to, that is with respect to 6th point. Now coming to the 7th point, we have, I have come to 5:30 now. I'll take another 10 more minutes or maximum 15 more minutes. And after that, we'll have some good interaction. Maybe I'll go up to 5:45. But now, so these things and all of us, we are thorough about it. So even though for the financial year 18-19, the due date is over, the time has been extended. So we know up to 31st of July, they have extended it. So we know the impact of it. The 6th point is with respect to passport. I repeat, the 6th point is with respect to passport. There is a notification called notification number 1/2020. So where the details of passport number as notified by the notification 1/2020 has been removed. So there was an expectation See, we are now in 2020, exactly 5 or 6 years back. That means in 2014, okay, 2014 or 2015, the 15-16 financial year or assessment year, the Aadhaar was part of the ITR form as an optional one. So they just included called Aadhaar. See, today Aadhaar is coming in the first line. Now, exactly 4 or 5 years back, if you take many of the seniors will agree with me, Aadhaar was actually not in the first row. It was only in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth row only it was there, Aadhaar. And that too, it was given in bracket as optional. That is how the first year it came. So, just like that in a bus, somebody wants to sit and you give a small space to him, just sit here. So, he will just corner, he will sit and slowly he will just push us and then he will comfortably, he will sit. Like that Aadhaar has now become, and now they say, if you don't have a PAN, doesn't matter. If you have Aadhaar, that is sufficient. From Aadhaar, we'll get you a PAN because 138 crore population, 122 crore people have been allotted Aadhaar and only 44 crore people have been allotted PAN. So it is only 1/3 of the population PAN has been allotted, but Aadhaar has been allotted for almost more than 95% of the population. So that is the point here. And there was a speculation that passport will be asked for, but actually it doesn't serve a purpose unless and otherwise people have traveled abroad. So people have a passport. So I have a passport, but I am not a routine traveler. I only travel within India. So now coming to the next main point, Aadhaar. So I'll say this eighth point with respect to our discussion in the new return, Aadhaar. They have brought this year a new one. It is not Aadhaar ID alone. Because Aadhaar now has become mandatory. Aadhaar has now become mandatory because you need to give that number. So without Aadhaar, if somebody is coming, can we file a return? The point is, okay, if Aadhaar is not there, he has to give a 28-digit Aadhaar enrollment. Okay, go to the Aadhaar enrollment center. Oh, get your, put your face and iris, thumb, hand, everything, and get your Aadhaar enrollment number today itself. Then only tomorrow we can file return. This is a 28-digit Aadhaar enrollment number. And all of us, we know, and Aadhaar digit is 12-digit number. And Aadhaar enrollment digit is 28 digit. So that is actually temp number. So here they have given the scope even for that 12-digit and 28-digit Aadhaar enrollment type. So that is a new one which they have actually brought this this year. So that includes this. What is that 14-digit enrollment number and the 14-digit date and time. So that is that 28-digit. Now the next important point for discussion is with respect to the Schedule DI. SHE Schedule DI. This is a new schedule. This year they have brought it. And I must make one more observation here, my dear friends, that this year is going to be, the work is going to be a little more, I will say, extra, because electricity bill has to be seen, bank account has to be seen. And rather than seeing 12 months bank account, we have to see not 12 months. Now we have to see 12 plus 4. I mean, now it is, I think, 6 months. So they have extended. So what is that? Please look at this. As far as this 54 to 54 GB investments are concerned, when the due date falls, say for example, in the month of April 2020, the dates can be extended because that was a lockdown date, and after that lockdown was extended. So the time limit for investments, there were many interpretation on this. For example, if the time of the 6 months gets elapsed before this lockdown period, that is in the month of February itself, it is over, can they get this, what do you say, the time for investments for deduction under 54 to 54 GB? So we have to be very clear that this rollover, the date for making investment, construction, purchase for claiming rollover benefit or deduction in respect of capital gains under 54 to 54 GB has been extended to 30th September. But we need to understand one thing very clear. This is only because of the, what you say, the COVID-19 relief. So it is not a generic relief. So unless and otherwise the last date or the last month, so we have the 6-month time for investments. Okay. For example, the time for investment in my REC bonds or 54 EC falls in the month of, say, if it exactly falls on March 25th or 26th, exactly in the lockdown time. So naturally it is not possible. Then it can be extended. So rather than giving a 1 month time extension, they have given time up to 30th of September 2020. So it was originally up to, what do you say, for ATC alone, they have made the time limit up to 31st of July 2020. Now, with respect to capital gains, they have given time up to 30th of September 2020. So now your statement, especially, please look at the statement. This is that particular statement. This statement, I think in our memo itself, we need to have one more additional sheet in our office while people prepare for our verification of how the memo is correct or not. We need to tell them that this year the memo should have the ATC details like this. So you may have to have an additional sheet where column 2 is your deduction column. Column 3 is the amount which is invested or paid during the financial year 2021 from April, May, June, July, August, September up to that time. So thereby, if it is 1,50,000 for ATC, so put 1,50,000 here, and the balance, for example, you have paid 70,000 in the month of April or May or June. The 70,000 has to be put here. Now this I have taken a little older form DI. This has to be changed to 31/7/2020. Okay, so that form is actually changed. So this is the new schedule, which is the details of investment or investment deposits payment for the purpose of claiming deduction under Part B of Chapter 6A. So this table is going to be very different and very important, especially this year alone. So what we have been doing in the past, and I'm sure the next examination, what is the coming examination, also this is applicable for our student friends, and May month examination also for our student friends, it will be applicable. So this year is going to be very unique even for students also. So that is with respect to number 9, the point. So I'll now take you to the next point also. That is with respect to, yeah. So this is with respect to ITR 2. The what I showed is an ITR 1 format. So this is an ITR 2 format applicable for ITR 2, ITR 3 and ITR 4. So because you will have the 54 to 54 GB also will be there. Good. Now, hope before I take you to this ITR 4, one more aspect, I will go to the 10th point. That is, this is the, I'm sure all of you are aware about this 139(5)(e). So it's a notwithstanding section. So whatever that has been given anywhere in Income Tax Act, forget about it. This is a very important provision. So please look at this A and B, 139(5)(e), A and B. So every person who is required to furnish or intimate or quote his PAN under this Act and who has not been allotted a PAN. So why, that is the data I showed you, 138 crore population, 122, 123 crore population has been allotted Aadhaar. So almost 90% and above have been allotted Aadhaar. But only 44 crore people have been allotted PAN. So every person who is required to furnish code and who has not been allotted PAN may furnish or intimate his Aadhaar. So this is one. Okay. For example, that is a specified financial transaction for which I am buying a gold jewelry from somebody and I am actually making cash payment. There I have to give PAN. So I don't have a PAN, then I give Aadhaar. The moment I give Aadhaar, such a person shall be allotted a PAN in such manner as may prescribe. The guy who is actually covered under the specified financial transaction, he should immediately get the form signed and he should apply for a PAN in lieu of it. So it has been an obligation that has been cast on the respective, not the assessee, but the person who is actually been entering into a transaction, the specified financial transaction, has been allotted a PAN and was intimated his Aadhaar in provisions of 139AA2. That is what you call the tagging of PAN to Aadhaar. Tagging of PAN to Aadhaar, once it has been done, your PAN and Aadhaar becomes interchangeable. So instead of PAN, I can refer Aadhaar. Instead of Aadhaar, I can say PAN. So because both are tagged. So in my database, in my income tax database, my my Aadhaar is actually tagged with my PAN. So anywhere across the country, any bank, so the moment they put my PAN, my Aadhaar will be visible. They put Aadhaar, my PAN will be visible. I become a public property as far as bank is concerned. Okay, good. Now, this is the latest one, 139AA2, that linking of Aadhaar to PAN. That statistics I was actually searching in the income tax side, and I was also discussing with the department. They say this data is very confidential unless otherwise CBDT takes a call to disclose. What is confidential? Your transparency, everything you are now transparent, everything you are giving. So please give me that data also. So they have said we will, they will publish it. So how many of the PAN have been so far linked with Aadhaar? So that is a very important data. So I'm actually searching for it, and they are actually slowly they have actually tallified, and now the date for linking of Aadhaar PAN has been extended till 31st of March 2021. So time limit for linking of PAN with Aadhaar is extended till 31st March 2021. So that much time is there. So one thing I am sure about it, there are still many PAN not linked with Aadhaar. Okay. Now, as you know that the statistics says 44 crore PAN, or maybe majority 98% of the 44 crore PAN. How many? That means almost how many of them are filing return? It's hardly less than 20%. So therefore, majority 80% of them, of the PAN holders who are non-filers, maybe they wouldn't have linked it to Aadhaar. So since the number is huge, the government is not revealing that number. So that's my understanding. So then there is next one. So that is with respect to Aadhaar PAN. That is the 10th point. The 11th point, what I want to discuss here is representative assessing. They have actually brought this concept of Aadhaar omnipresent, not only to assessee, AOP filing return, authorized representative is signing, HUF authorized representative is signing, minor authorized representative is signing, non-resident authorized representative is signing the return. So they also have to give, along with their please name of the representative, capacity, address, PAN or Aadhaar, provided it is linked. So in case ITR is being filed by representative, Aadhaar number of representative required to be provided from financial year 1920 onwards. So that is with respect to ITR 4. Now the next one. Now ITR 5. This is a very interesting point which they have brought. This is only for a startup company. Now generally the startup company, all cannot be a startup company. No, my uncle started one business 10-20 years back. Now he did his business in Tirunelveli. So I will start a new business in Chennai, very similar to that. That is not startup. So just because you have started a new venture, that cannot be treated as a startup, because there is a definition for startup, and it should be a private limited company, or it should be a registered partnership firm, or it should be an LLP. Second most important point, there should be an innovation. You should try something new, process innovation, product innovation, and that has to be recognized. Now, who should recognize? it should be recognized by DPIIT. Are you recognized as a startup by DPIIT? That is called Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. So, yes or no. The moment you put no, the provisions of the startup companies, the concessional tax rate, the angel tax benefit, all those will not be available. So similarly, if let's provide startup recognition number allotted by DPIIT, here you have to give that number. And most important, if there is an innovation, the certificate from the interministerial board or certification is received from the central government. So they are actually monitoring who are all the startups, and letters are sent and the invitations are sent whenever there is a startup conclave, whenever there is a startup the conferences. These people are only invited, not all the other Humpty Dumpty startups and all. No. So unless and otherwise they get that interministerial board certification. So that will be given only when there is an innovation in your process, something new in your process product, then only it will be. If yes, provide the certification number. So recognition number and certification number is mandatory. So in the previous thing, this was not being asked for. Now they are asking for it, so that rather than giving a voluntarily, I am a startup, I want my concessional tax rate is this much, 18%. So I don't, they say no. Unless another is give this number, automatically it will apply that particular concessional tax rate. Similarly, please look at this, the next one. If you are this is there in page number 84. Actually, the entire forms you can download it, and you can take a printout like this. And if you take a printout, it will come to 212 pages. I repeat, 212 pages it will come. So every year, better to keep this next to you, so that at least a dozen times or 20 times you go through this forms. Forms is very, and I'm sure only chartered accountants will be in a position to appreciate all the columns and stuff. It has been so stuffy, and I actually compare every year forms. So right from 2007 I have this. I actually get a feel that every year it has not been every year the number of pages has been added, the points are added, what is the inputs have been added, and in the process it informs us one thing, that our fees also should be added every year. Our fees also should be added. So this has to be first informed to all the clients. See, this much data they are asking. So please be aware about it, and please also be aware that since the work is more, the fees is also more. And please look at whether you are a partner in a firm. Yes, then please furnish the following information. This is a very, very important point. And from this year onwards, and even from last year also it is there. There are especially the name of the firm and PAN. Whether you are a partner in a firm. Now, why this point is very important? Because the firm, when they file the return, there will be some, what do you call it as, the remuneration which is actually being disallowed, which is allowed there. What is being allowed there is taxed here in individual. So that crisscross of the respective columns, especially what has been offered there as a remuneration, what has been disallowed, that means what has been allowed there. It is captured in the firm. So what has been allowed there, now we know how many partners are there, and here you tell you are a partner, and the firm name is also given. So to that extent it will be verified, and you are also going to give the percentage of the sharing there. So it will actually 100% tally with your information here. So else the system itself will throw the exceptions. So thereby it will actually show there is an exception there. It is fully been allowed, but only here 40% only has been declared here as an income. 60% is not declared. The 60% has been deducted there. Here it is not been given, it taxed here. So these kind of stuffs are very interesting. Now, coming to the last but not the least, with respect to ITR 7. I wish ITR 7 alone should be a separate session, because there's been a lot of developments with respect to ITR 7. So maybe I'll just highlight one or two, especially these two alone I will highlight. And then now, since already 5:50, I will close by actually 5:55 or 6 o'clock, and then I'll invite questions from all of you. In this ITR 7, which is applicable for the charitable and religious institutions, and your section 25 company or section 8 company, point to be noted, they have brought a lot of changes, especially with respect to certain aspects. Now, I want to bring your kind attention to Schedule ER. Now, Schedule ER is in page number 196 of the form. Okay. So, if you take all the forms that is available in the income tax website, it is in page number 196. There, Schedule ER is the revenue expenditure incurred during the year and amount applied to objects of the trust or institution. So, here you have to subtract what are all the establishment expenses. So, what are all the expenditures on objects of the trust, and what are the disallowable expenditures? A point to be noted, these disallowable expenditures like bad debts, provision, these are not allowed under the provisions of the law with respect to charitable institutions. There is one particular point they have brought newly, that is donations forming part of corpus fund. This is the point which they have added newly. So, with respect to disallowable expenditure, Schedule ER. So, donations forming part of corpus fund, page number 196. Yeah. So, this is my point here is in charitable trust audits. In charitable trust audits, generally corpus fund will go to P&L. I mean, will go to balance sheet. The revenue will come to what you call it as the collections will come to the revenue part. Now, donations forming part of corpus fund, very interesting is which is to be disallowed. Now, what is that? You don't have a proper directions. You don't have a proper directions. So, disallowable expenditure has to be considered here, C3. So, this part is very, very important. Maybe we need to have an exclusive CPE program. I leave it to the respective chairmans, both VELLORE and the Kumbakonam branch, for the charitable institutions and religious institutions alone. There should be an exclusive sessions for ITR 7 alone, where schedule by schedule the impact has to be discussed. And apart from this, this year they have brought one more new thing, especially what is clear. This year they have brought, this is the last year ITR 7. So now this year what they have brought for assessment year 2021. Please look at the first page. That is the page number 189, first page itself. In ITR 7, the first page itself. Otherwise called the page number 189. The details of registration or approval under the Income Tax Act, mandatory if required to be registered. Now, this year what has happened? Many people, many institutions, and I'll just give you 3 points with respect to this. This is my 12th point with respect to ITR 7, and after that I will leave the floor open for question answers. So I'll just discuss 3 points, and I'll just zoom this. That will be the next slide. This year they are doing a lot of revamping of charitable institutions. Now, what is the revamping they are doing? All of us, we know that charitable institutions are eligible for getting exemption under 12AA. That is one exemption they will get. And now they have introduced another section called 12AB by withdrawing 12AA. So 12AB has come. So that is one change they have brought. Now, second change is 80G also, they have made some changes. 1023C also they have brought some changes. And all these developments, why they have brought it? Because number one, the exemption that were given, for example, 12AA exemption given. 12AA exemption is a manual exemption. So across the country, I'll just give you a number. I'll just give you a number. Now you'll be actually surprised, okay? Because the beginning data what I gave and this data I want to actually compare. Please look at this trust data. 8,47,834 only PAN is there. And of course, association of person is not a trust. Okay, maybe you can also consider it, but they will not be a trust. So 847, and of course, company 17,41,192 companies are there. Apart on that, there is a possibility the percentage can be say 5% can be a section 25 maximum. Okay, maximum. So maybe you can add another 50,000 as section 25. That is a very big number. So you can take as 90,000. This is what the PAN allotted numbers, not more than that. So now I'll share with you one interesting data that in Mumbai alone, I mean in Maharashtra alone, you have 8 lakhs charitable institutions. The next rank goes to Delhi. Third rank comes to Tamil Nadu. Then is Andhra Pradesh. So there are huge non-government organizations which are registered as well as unregistered. Number one. Number two, there are many institutions who have got 12AA manually, but they are not filing return of income. They are not filing return of income. Two, EDG they have got. They are not filing return of income. Now, all those people, they have to now come forward. Now, today, written data are with online data. So, written data are online data. That is with the government of India. But this 12AA data, ADG data, how many exemptions I have given, manually they have it. So it is actually not a centralized data. They have some data. So it is actually what we call as a legacy system. Legacy system, and it is not merged with, or it is not comparable with the, what do you say, the IT data, the return filed data. So that is why through assessments only it is being verified. Now the point is, that is why this enrollment process they have brought this year. But thanks to COVID-19, it was delayed. Otherwise, by this time, everybody have to go for an enrollment for 12AA, existing entities which has been registered, and entities which has applied for registration, and entities which is, what do you call it as, they have they have actually got registration after they file the return of income. In the meantime, there are companies last year and last before year. What has happened? They have got the exemption post filing of return. For example, they would have filed their application, but they will file the return under ITR 7 or under ITR 5. They are under a dilemma. They are under a dilemma because they are going to get the exemption, but they are only eligible to file under ITR 5. So this year what has happened, left and right, the law has been, especially the business rules with respect to the processing of ITR 7 has totally changed, especially last year and last before year. So pending approval, if anybody who has filed his return of income under ITR 7, so the entire credit will be taxed, and in their lifetime they wouldn't have dreamt of actually that much of a tax liability. 10 crore minus 9 crore and 90 lakhs expenditure, 10 lakhs, which is exempt. So no. But just imagine entire 10 crore is taxed at 30% plus tax and all, MMR, the liability will be huge. So many would have even got an heart attack also, mild. So that is the scenario today. And that is why please look at the column number 5, 6, 7, 8. Whether application for registration is made as per the new provision. Okay. Now, section under which the registration is applied. Date on which the application for registration approval as per the new provision is made. Section of exemption opted for under the new provision. These are the 4 columns which has been added new. What are the 4 existing columns? Section under which registered or approved, date of registration or approval notification or registration number, and who is the registering authority. This was the old list. Now they have added this 4 columns. So this is the main change which they have brought, and I wish we need to actually keep ourselves abreast with all these developments. And I must thank from the bottom of my heart the opportunity bestowed to me by Kumbakonam branch of SARC of ICAI and Vellore branch of SARC of ICAI. So both the chairmen, CAK Visahan, chairman of Kumbakonam, and CAK Sundaravaradhan, chairman of Vellore branch, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And to all the friends, 90 friends who are online, that too on a Sunday evening, compromising your family time. You have shared your very nice time with the CPE program. So my thanks to each and every one of you. So over to the organizers for your closing remarks and for a Q&A session also. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for a wonderful presentation, sir. So today we have 97 participants, sir. We have only capacity of 100. Oh, just to 3 members. In the waiting room, so 97 participants. It's a very good sign, sir. We definitely have a separate session on ITR 7, sir. Just on first week of next month, definitely we have a session with you, sir. We have a question answer session in the chat box, sir.
Yeah, please. So we have a question from Mr. Thiruvasagan. The investment made during extended period, shall we exercise the option in that and claim it for either 2021 or 21-22 as at assessee's benefit? Yeah. So what is this? Is you have option only for 2021. You don't have option for 21-22 because this year only you have an option. Either you want to take it for 19-20 or 20-21. So once you are not exercising for 19-20, you have to necessarily use it for next year only. So you have that option this year. Please also comment on auto filing of ITR and interchange of Aadhaar with the PAN. So that is what the time limit I have discussed. GST turnover, is it mandatory in ITR? Wonderful. Sir, with respect to, you need to actually give 4 informations you have to give with respect to GST. So if at all I make an observation, that particular point. Number 1 observation is, you have in your manufacturing, your P&L account, your trading account, manufacturing account. Now let me just give you some pointers here. Number 1, with respect to your opening stock, with respect to your closing stock, with respect to your purchases, with respect to your sales. Now here they are given details in say for example page number 88 and 89. 88 and 89. Now point to be noted, let me make it very simple. In GST, you on your opening stock you will have an input tax credit which you are going to take it as a credit. On your closing stock you will have a carry forward of your input tax credit. Now these two you are not going to show it as part of your P&L account. You are only going to offset it, and whatever is your liability you are going to pay from that debit balance or credit balance. Now there are sometimes the accounting treatment is they may not show separately, they will actually gross it up and show. What do you call it as the purchases I will not take input credit. I want to show it as part of my total cost. So what we in our mod-VAT accounting, the old method, and also in sen-VAT accounting, all through these years, if you look at our guidance note, they would have given both the method of accounting with respect to declaring your closing stock. But that is acceptable. That is acceptable. But with respect to input tax credit, when you take, people may not show that input credit as part of your account. They will only show it either the debit balance or the credit balance. They will only keep it in your, not in your PL account, but as part of your, what do you say, your balance sheet only. It may not be reflected here. But the form has been designed in such a way that you have the details even for the CGST, SGST, IGST, and UTGST. It is only when the tax that has been paid, that alone to capture separately, they have given that particular part. So only one point I will share it with you, that with respect to GST turnover, there has been a simple question I will put. What is that? Say, I have a turnover of 25 lakhs, and this is also a question which is raised by one of the participants also. My turnover is 25 lakhs. My property income is 5 lakhs. 25 lakhs is my turnover. 5 lakhs is my property income. So what should I show as? And I am using my 44 AD or 44 AE as my computation purpose, and I am using my ITR number 4 for it. Now, in that circumstances, what is the turnover I have to declare? The turnover is only with respect to 4480, because your property income will come under income from house property. So 4480 is only with respect to your business income. So your turnover, as per your books of accounts, is only 25 lakhs. Now, GST turnover, is it mandated in ITR? This is one question which has been pointed. Here I want to make only one input, which is in page number 80. Page number 80. Information regarding turnover or gross receipt reported for GST. This is the only place where you have to give. Especially, this is in form number ITR 4. And ITR 4 is applicable for individuals, HUF, and firms being resident, having total income up to 50 lakhs, and having income from business and profession, which is computed under 44 AD, ADA, and AE. Now, here in page number 80, they are giving what is your GST number and what is the annual value of output to supply, and these are the only two details that has been asked. Now, there is no need actually for us to reconcile this with my books of account turnover, which already we do it. Maybe if there is a requirement under the GST law for a GST audit purpose. So this is the only place where they are capturing. And apart from this, I want to make one more observation. This is with respect to presumptive income, where majority of the small and medium traders, business people, they will come here. They are also asking financial particulars of the business if they are not maintaining books of accounts. So even though for 44 AD, 44 ADA, 44 AE people, they need not maintain books of accounts. They are asking a list of particulars. What is that? What is the secured loan, unsecured loan, advances, secured creditors, other liabilities, fixed assets, inventory, sundry debtors, balance with the banks, cash in hand, loans and advances, other assets. So in the book maintain pannu that is what is mandated. Along with that, they are asking the annual value of outward supply as per GST returns filed. Now, the purpose is the human beings, they will not do any work. This number will be automatically, because both are neighbors, ICAI Bhavan, GST Bhavan, and both their data can be exchanged by CBIC to CBDT, CBDT to CBIC. So mutually they can actually share these data. So there, in case if both the data matches, it will come to the green channel. If the data doesn't match, for example, you give an annual value of outward supply under GST, there is a column called E10. You give a number and that number doesn't match, either it is less or more, it will actually throw an exception. Possibly, if the turnover that has been declared in GST is higher and the number what you have declared in page number 80, that is E10, is lower, that can actually trigger from the income tax department to get a clarification from you. So that is the only Shanmugam sir ketirukar. Another interesting question which has been raised is, on behalf of assessee, we people pay advance tax payment through our current account. Is there any alternative? My humble suggestion here, please do not do that. If you wish to actually do that as a service, because actually it is a service, you are not paid for it or you are not an agent for them. So in case you wish to do that as an extended service, please open an escrow account or please open a client account. So in bank, you can open a client account. For example, Shanmugam client account. You can open a Shanmugam client account. In that Shanmugam client account, which is a current account, you can deposit the client's money. From there, you can make the
Sir,
payment.
எவ்வளவு அக்கௌண்ட் சார் நம்ம அட்வான்ஸ் sir please sir. இப்போ அட்வான்ஸ் டாக்ஸ் கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 100 பேருக்கு அந்த மாதிரி 3 times or 4 times we are paying. அதுக்கு about close together வருது அந்த பணம். அவங்க டைரக்டா நம்ம அக்கௌண்ட்க்கு மாத்தி விட்டுறாங்க, நம்ம அந்த செல்லம் எல்லாம் தப்பு இல்லாம கட்டி கொடுக்குறோம். இப்போ how we have to?
அதுதான் சார், kindly open one client account and let the client directly pay to the client account.
இல்ல எத்தனை அக்கவுண்ட் சார் ஓபன் பண்றது? ஒரே ஒரு அக்கவுண்ட் தான் சார்.
ஒரு அக்கவுண்ட் தான்.
இல்ல ஒரே ஒரு அக்கவுண்ட்ன்றேன்.
ஒரே ஒரு அக்கவுண்ட்.
எவ்வரி கிளையன்ட்க்கு ஒரு அக்கவுண்ட்.
That account you can have for all clients.
I am not getting sir.
Sir, you have some 20 clients, sir. You have an account. You have an account called client account, Shanmugam client account, Shanmugam & Co client account. So each client will say, for example, advance tax 4 times he is making payment. So that means 20 client into 4, 80 payment will come to your account, and 80 times you are making an online payment and generating challan, and online you can send.
Like that only we are doing henceforth. இப்படி தான் செஞ்சிட்டு இருக்கோம். என்னன்னீங்கன்னா ரெகுலர் செல்ஃப் அசஸ்மென்ட் டாக்ஸ், அட்வான்ஸ் டாக்ஸ் எல்லாமே இப்படி தான் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம் சார் பார்ட்டிக்கு. ஆனா பேன் நம்பர் நம்மளதுல கொடுத்துருக்கோம் அந்த கரண்ட் அக்கவுண்ட்ல.
அதுதான், அது கைண்ட்லி அவாய்ட். தென் ஹவ் வில் யூ அக்கவுண்ட் இட் இன் உங்க புக்ல எப்படி அக்கவுண்ட் பண்ணுவீங்க சார்?
டெபிட் கிரெடிட் தானே சார்? டெபிட் கிரெடிட் தானே, ரிசீவ்ட் அண்ட் பெய்டு தானே அது?
அதுதான் அது.
ஹலோ
சார், as chartered accountants we can explain and then we can.
என்ன சாய்ஸ் இருக்கு சார்? என்ன சாய்ஸ்? அட்வான்ஸ் செல்ஃப் அசஸ்மென்ட்ல 4000 ரூபாய் கட்டறதுக்கு என்ன சாய்ஸ் இருக்குங்க சார்?
இதான் கிளையண்ட் அக்கவுண்ட ஓபன் செப்பரேட் அக்கவுண்ட் பண்ணிக்கணும், எஸ்க்ரோ அக்கவுண்ட்.
அப்படிதான் வச்சிருக்கோம் செப்பரேட் அக்கவுண்ட் தான் வச்சிருக்கோம். அது க்ளோஸ் டுகெதர் வருது.
வரட்டும் சார், அது ஒண்ணும் நீங்க கவலைப்பட வேண்டாம். அது உங்க புக்ல
இல்ல எஸ்எஃப்டி இல்ல இந்த எஸ்எஃப்டி புக்ல வரல. பட் எஸ்எஃப்டி டிரான்சாக்ஷன் இந்த இதெல்லாம் சொன்னீங்களா சார்? அதுக்காக கேக்குறேன்.
அது வரட்டும் சார், that is not an issue. And then there itself your account itself will not be Shanmugam account, it will be called Shanmugam client account.
ஹலோ
So therefore that
is not the Shanmugam client account PAN number உண்டாங்க சார்?
ஹலோ
இருக்கும். உங்களுடைய ஓன் PAN கொடுங்க இல்ல இன்டிவிஜுவல் PAN கொடுங்க, that is not an issue.
இல்ல அப்படி Shanmugam client னு எப்படி அக்கவுண்ட் ஓபன் பண்ண முடியும் சார்?
The second, since it is a specified finance transaction, is he depositing cash or a bank to bank transfer?
இது பேங்க் டு பேங்க் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் தான். அவங்க கிளையண்ட் அவங்க அக்கவுண்ட்ல இருந்து நம்ம அக்கவுண்ட்க்கு மாத்திடுவாங்க, and we will make the payment.
Then it will not come. SFT
Sir, use only client's money account in that money transactions in that account. Don't use your own transactions in that account, so that you can always reconcile at later point of time. That's then, what is being said. Shanmugam sir, adha solla varar.
Yeah. Then Mr. Ca.Gopalan, can we bank desist from obtaining Form 60 from a customer having Aadhaar and who do not have PAN, because PAN and Aadhaar are interchangeable? This is correct, but only when it is what do you say, tagged or it has been tagged, then it is interchangeable. So Unless and otherwise it is tagged. Until it is tagged, you cannot do that.
Yes, sir. Marketing. Okay, sir. I'll cut. 10 lakhs.
Then Mr. Jayashankar's question, sir, how to fill up the details of LTG on sale of equity shares, mutual funds and STT paid in ITR2? Sir, very good question. And this year they have actually, this year the grandfathering period also, it actually plays an important role this year. So you need to actually collect a lot of information, especially the date of purchase, the quantity, purchase price. So these three plus expenses, maybe if at all you have incurred after that or during that. Then what is your date of sale, quantity and the price? And fourth one, next one, what is the expenses incurred, if any, during the sales? And apart from this, during the year, for that part, what is the income earned? Apart from that, what is the closing balance? For example, if purchase is 100 units, you have only sold 78, then 22 will be in the closing balance. So to this extent, every itemized, what do you call it as entity-wise details has to be maintained by the assessee. Then only the proper capital gains can be collected. So I mean, it can be ascertained, and then it can be actually presented in the return properly. So the moment it is a capital gains client, this much of detail has to be collected, memorandum working has to be done. Then based on that working only, the ITR can be filled up. So that much of homework is required. So it's a very important question Mr. Jayashankar has asked. So thank you very much, sir. Mr. Ammayappan, so far NRI property income offered as parent income because they have enjoyed income as deemed owner or beneficial owner. Okay. The EB card in NRI name, whether NRI will get notice. Actually, it's a very interesting. So this parent, they have actually acted as a representative assessee. No, they have only included the NRI's income in their income. So that is what they have done, but which is not a correct procedure. So NRI property income offered as parent income because they have enjoyed income as deemed owner. Maybe you want to continue that, you can make that, what you call it as the concept of diversion of income by overriding title. So that concept you have to apply. So he has to actually write a will or some document saying that even though I am a owner, the income belongs to them. Then only it is correct. So legally you need to actually have one document with respect to that particular part. Else what will happen? It becomes a wrong assessment. So that is my humble view. Second, definitely you have the risk of getting intimated by the tangent co, because the EB card is only in the name of the original owner. So better actually to file the return of income in the name of the NRI son or daughter itself. Sorry, what happened?
I think, sir.
Yes.
Sir, screen share. Bhaskar sir, screen share, I think so. Bhaskar sir?
Sir, okay.
Sir, screen share எடுத்து விடுங்க.
இல்ல பரவாயில்லை. So therefore the risk is there. Possibly the NRI will get they may get a notice because of the current regime is very, very clear that property income has not been duly been disclosed. Second, I want to make one more observation. This recent Tamil Nadu regulation on responsibilities of rights of landlord and tenant act has come. Even though across many states such a very parallel law has been implemented, it has not been effective. And even though there are 40 lakh households in Tamil Nadu, you won't believe, not even 5,000 households, that is called rental households. Not even 5,000 households, they have registered their rental details with the site, with the Tamil Nadu government site. So government is also not pushing, state government is also not pushing to actually register those details. So therefore, this is the only mechanism where possibly, because this is a black and white data, the payment of EB amount. Mr. Vedant Somani, in case of charitable trust, utilization of amount accumulated in earlier, utilization of amount accumulated in earlier for object of trust could not be utilized due to COVID-19 before 31st March 2020. Is any extension given? If not, then how to deal in Form 10B? Sir, you have to actually intimate the assessing officer. So you have a possibility, for example, whatever you have to apply, if you can't apply, you can actually accumulate it and do it in the next 5 years. So that is possible. Or if already you accumulated and the 5th year is about to be expired by 31st of March 2020, then you have to intimate this to the respective assessing officer that you couldn't make it. So as per the law, that particular amount will be taxed. But there is no such provision in the law to give what is a relief for COVID-19. So possibly, if you will have an alibi, if you actually intimate the assessing officer that even though the time is over, I am restrained because of the COVID-19 restrictions, so need a little extension of time. Very similar to extension given for what do you call it as the 54 up to GB, 80C. Possibly there can be a separate notification that can come even for a charitable institution, provided this has been escalated by all the charitable trusts. Sir, I must say that Vedant Somani, you have brought out a very, very important, very serious point you have brought out. So thank you very much. What is, there is a private question that was, what is your opinion about softwares which are user friendly and many of us use regularly? You can use it. So Winman, Computax, many are there. All these softwares are very good. Please use it and continue to use it. Nothing wrong in it. But my point is it will actually stop the brain working with respect to the application part of it. So parallelly, maybe offline, we need to do our homework and then feed the data to find out whether the system gives the answer as per our working. So I think that will be the best approach. So you can continue. Mr. R. Sivaguru, in case of a charitable trust not registered with Income Tax Department, whether ITR 5 or ITR 7 to be filed, sir, ITR 5 only, because they are an association of person. They are only recognized an association of person, even though their PAN number will have the 4th character will be T. They will be only treated as AOP. So it is only ITR 5 applicable. For example, a school. For example, a hospital, they are a charitable trust, but they are not registered under 12AA. So no other choice. ITR 7, if you file, we will be inviting trouble because we are without an exemption. We have filed that return. So it is not advisable to file in 7. It is only 5 is applicable. But there is another possibility. My institution is a purely education institution and I am below that 1 crore collection, then I can avail the 1023C and ITR 7 is applicable. So that is only one exceptional route that is available. Vedantu Somani, once again, estate of deceased person, which ITR is to be filed? ITR 5 can be filed. So he is an individual, sir. So therefore, what is the form that is applicable? He has to file the same form only with the representative. So since the deceased person is no more, so his legal representative will be the representative assessee for that particular period. So from 1st April to, for example, the date of, we have lost a very very senior professional in yesterday in Trichy. So very unfortunate to hear that. A very nice gentleman. So any such for the year 2021 from 1st of April till say yesterday. So then who will be actually filing that return? So one of the legal hair will be filing that particular return by signing as a authorized representative. So the same form that is applicable, maybe if he has been filing ITR 2 or ITR 3 or ITR 4, the same will apply. My turnover total is 39 lakhs. Residential property income is 10 lakhs. This has been asked by, I don't know the name here. So residential property income is 10 lakhs. Legal professional income is 15 lakhs. Interest on loan and advance is 10 lakhs. Profit on shares is 4 lakhs. Assessee need to be registered under GST or not? Oh, so this is a GST question. Very interesting. So you have a property income, residential property income 10 lakhs. So this is an exempted one. Legal professional income, taxable one, so service income. So interest on loans and advances rupees 10 lakhs. This is exempted, but exempted income will be included as part of your what do you say, the threshold. Threshold I will be including. So 10 plus 10, 20, 20 plus 15. So it is 35. Profit on shares. So you should not take profit on shares. It is actually the sale value you have to take. So that has not been mentioned. If you include that, you will actually cross 40 lakhs with respect to service income. So you are supposed to register, and you have crossed the 90% of that limit also. So you have to definitely register under GST. That's my humble view. Mr. Guhan, transact only client money in that account. Do not mix your own money. That is an answer. So what is your opinion about Winman Computer, which is I already mentioned it. Okay. So all the questions are answered. So over to
Suri sir, do you have any questions, sir? Suri sir, raise the hands. Suri sir, do you have any questions to the speaker, sir? Okay, sir, I think so. Sure, sir.
சார் ஒரே ஒரு क्वेश्चन சார்.
சொல்லுங்க சார்.
எஸ்க்ரோ அக்கவுண்ட் சொன்னீங்களா சார், அது பேங்க்ல என்னன்னு சொல்லி ஓபன் பண்ணோம் சார். இப்போ வந்து நாங்க எங்க ஃபேம் நேம்ல வச்சிருக்கோம், ஐ ராஜேஷ் அண்ட் அசோசியேட்ஸ்னு. இப்போ எஸ்க்ரோ அக்கவுண்ட் சொன்னீங்களா சார், அவங்க ஏதாவது ப்ரூஃப் கேட்பாங்களே, என்ன ப்ரூஃப் கொடுக்கிறது?
ஒண்ணும் வேண்டாம். அதாவது உங்க ஒரே ஐ ராஜேஷ் அண்ட் அசோசியேட்ஸ் கரண்ட் அக்கவுண்ட். ஓகே, ஐ ராஜேஷ் அண்ட் அசோசியேட்ஸ் ஐஃபன் கிளையண்ட் அக்கவுண்ட், அவ்வளவுதான்.
அது அவங்க பேங்க் மேனேஜர் சொத்து.
ஆமா, இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் கலெக்ஷன் அக்கவுண்ட் சொல்றோம் இல்லையா சார், கிளையண்ட் வந்து கலெக்ஷன் அக்கவுண்ட் இருக்கும். அந்த கலெக்ஷன் அக்கவுண்ட் மாதிரி கிளையண்ட் அக்கவுண்ட். சோ கிளையண்ட் அவங்களோட பணத்தை இந்த அக்கவுண்ட்ல போட்டுருவாங்க. இது வந்து நீங்க பேமெண்ட் பண்ணிடுறீங்க. சோ அது உங்க புக்ஸ்லயே வராது.
புக்ஸ்லயே வராது.
போன்ல கனெக்ட் பண்ணுமா இல்லையா? போன சிஸ்டத்துல பாத்தீங்களா சார்? போன்ல பாத்தீங்களா?
Or you can even record in your books stating that it is client money paid, so zero balance. Always maintain zero balance.
So another question from chat box.
Sir, is it Gopi sir ஏதோ கேட்டிருக்கார். Sir, deposit of 1 crore in one or more account, whether it is in single account with more than 1 crore individually or how? Very good question. They have made the point very clear that the provision says like this. What it says? It says 1 crore rupees in one or more current account. Before that, they use a word aggregate of amount exceeding 1 crore rupees in one or more current account. So, aggregate of amount in one current account. So, or one or more current account. For example, I have 4 current accounts. Each current account 30 lakhs I have deposited. So 30 into 4, 1.2 crore. Then I am covered under the 7th Proviso. So not necessary it should be one account more than 1 crore. It can be more than one account put together more than 1 crore. Not necessary it should cross 1 crore. It's a very interesting question. So therefore, point is, my dear client, whatever current account is there, please bring it. Let me see that. And For reviewing the current account, there is a separate fees. Whether you have to file return of income or not, consulting fees. So Rajesh alone will do consulting. Gopi will do the return filing. That's all. So now, A.R. Viswanathan sir கேக்குறார். Is it possible to open Ca.Gopan? அவரே பேசலாமே.
Sir, Viswanathan sir. Viswanathan sir.
Raju, good evening.
சார் சொல்லுங்க சார்.
இல்ல அந்த அக்கவுண்ட் ஓபன் பண்ண முடியாதுங்கிறது இப்பே Ca.Gopan சொல்லிட்டாருன்னா சௌரியமா இருக்கும்.
அப்படி ஆமா Ca.Gopan சொல்லாமே.
ஹலோ
சார் Ca.Gopan சார்.
அடிபுலா சார்.
அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க, அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க.
அன்மியூட் பண்ணேன்.
சொல்லுங்க, எல்லாருக்கும் சொல்லுங்க. நீங்க கிளையண்ட் அக்கவுண்ட் ஓபன் பண்ணீங்களா இல்லையா?
இல்ல சார்.
Ca.Gopan sir from CUB.
Sir, audible?
Yeah, please.
Sir, escrow account வந்து நார்மலி கம்பெனிஸ்க்கு ஓபன் பண்றாங்க சார் டிவிடெண்டுக்காக. அது எப்படி இருக்கும்னா ஏஎன்கோ டிவிடெண்ட் அக்கவுண்ட் அப்படின்னு இருக்கும். பட் இண்டிவிஜுவலுக்கு வந்து அதே மாதிரியே ஓபன் பண்றதுல ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இருக்காது. they can easily open கிளைண்ட் அக்கவுண்ட் அப்படின்னு ஓபன் பண்ணலாம். அதுல இதே மாதிரி கம்பெனிக்கு ஓபன் பண்ணலாம்.
சார் Ca.Gopan சார் PAN ரெக்கார்டு படி என்னோட நேம் இல்லைன்னு சொல்லிட்டு ரிஜெக்ட் பண்ணுவீங்கல்ல?
KYC will not be available. அதாவது எப்படி கம்பெனிக்கு ஓபன் பண்றோமோ
இப்ப ஐஃபன் கிளையன்ட்ங்கறதா சார் ரெண்டு விஷயம் சார். Ca.Gopan சார் ரெண்டு விஷயம் சார். ஒன்னு ஐஃபன் கிளையன்ட் அக்கவுண்ட்னு ஓபன் பண்ணனும்னு சொல்லி இருக்கீங்க. இப்போ நான் அசசிக்கு எல்லாம் என்ன இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணனும், என் அக்கவுண்ட் வந்து என்னோட நேம் ஐஃபன் கிளையன்ட் தான் அதுக்கு பேரே வரும்.
ஆமா
அக்கவுண்ட்
கரெக்ட்.
ஆமா பாயிண்ட் நம்பர் 1. பட் நம்ம பேங்க்ல கொடுக்கறப்ப என்ன பண்ணுவானா, let me complete பேங்க் அக்கவுண்ட் பேங்க்ல கொடுக்கறப்ப என்ன பண்ணுவானா, நம்மளுடைய PAN தான் KYC கொடுக்க போறோம்.
சார் வின்மான் பேட் சார்
அது மிஸ்மேட்ச் அப்படிங்கிற விஷயம் வந்துரும்.
இல்ல சார், எப்படி வந்து கம்பெனிக்கு வந்து டிவிடெண்ட் அக்கவுண்ட் வச்சிருக்கோம்ல?
ஆமா.
இது வரைக்கும் வேற எங்கயாவது ஓபன் பண்ணி இல்ல இந்த மாதிரி இது வரைக்கும் ஓபன் பண்ணி ரிஜெக்ட் பண்ணிருக்காங்களா?
5 வருஷத்துல மேக்ஸிமம் சை முடிஞ்சிரும் அப்படிங்க.
நாங்க ஓபன் பண்ணவே இன்னை வரைக்கும் முயற்சி பண்ணல. எங்க பேர்ல தான் வச்சிருக்கோம் அக்கவுண்ட்.
சரி, நாளைக்கு நான் கேட்டுட்டு உங்களுக்கு மெசேஜ்
ஓகே थैंक यू.
நான் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன்.
கம்பெனியோட PAN இருக்கும் சார். இண்டிவிஜுவலுக்கு நம்ம PAN கொடுக்கணும்.
இருங்க, நான் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன். சார், நீங்க வந்து இண்டிவிஜுவலா நீங்க ஆக்சுவலா அக்கவுண்ட் ஓபன் பண்ணல. யூ ஆர் a professional chartered accountant. இன்ஸ்டிடியூட் ஆஃப் சார்ட்டர்ட் அக்கவுண்டன்ட் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு பட்டயம் கொடுத்திருக்கு. நீங்க வந்து practicing chartered accountant in a proprietor name. So proprietor nameனா இண்டிவிஜுவலா பண்ணலாம், இல்ல அன்கோ அப்படின்னு ப்ரொப்ரைட்டர் பேர்லயும் பண்ணிருக்கலாம், இல்ல பார்ட்னர்ஷிப் ஃபார்மா பண்ணிருக்கலாம். ஸோ பார்ட்னர்ஷிப் ஃபார்ம் இருந்தா என்கிட்ட ஒரு ஃபார்ம் இருக்கும், அதுக்கு ஒரு PAN இருக்கும். அது இருந்தாலும் நான் கிளைண்ட் அக்கௌண்ட் ஓபன் பண்ணுவேன். கிளைண்ட் அக்கௌண்ட்டுக்கு தனி PAN கிடையாது. நம்பர் 1. ஃபார்மா இருந்தாலும் சரி, சோல் ப்ரொப்ரைட்டர் ஃபார்மா இருந்தாலும் சரி, இல்ல இண்டிவிஜுவலா இருந்தாலும் சரி, நீங்க கொடுக்க வேண்டியதா ஒண்ணு ஒரு அஃபிடேவிட் மாதிரி கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா போறோம். அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி உங்களோட இண்டிவிஜுவல் PAN, உங்களோட இண்டிவிஜுவல் KYC பேஸ் பண்ணி தான் ஓபன் பண்ணுவாங்க. நத்திங் ராங் அபௌட் இட். ஓபன்
பேசலாம் சார். அப்படினா சார் அப்படி ஓபன் பண்ணா சார் உங்க அந்த 1 crore நீங்க சொல்ற அந்த இல்ல டோட்டல் அமௌண்ட்ல சேர்ந்துரும்ல? இப்போ சண்முகம் எல்லாம் பயப்படுறாருல, அது மாதிரி 1 crore சேர்ந்துரும்ல
சார்? நீங்க ரிட்டர்ன் ஃபைல் பண்றீங்க, அங்க எங்க வருதுன்னா வாட் இஸ் 139(1) 7th Proviso? What is the first line it says? The first line what it says is, are you filing return of income under 7th Proviso to 139(1) but otherwise not required to furnish return of income? You are otherwise furnishing return of income under 139(1). So why should you bother about 7th Proviso? நீங்க அங்கே ஃபைல் பண்ணிருங்க. So it will not come.
Fine.
So thank you very much. Over for the closing remarks for the session to ICAI.
Hello. ஒரே கேள்வி சார்.
சார்,
பேங்க் Ca.Gopan
சொல்லுங்க சார். Ca.Gopan சார்,
பேங்க்கு லோன் கொடுக்கிறதுக்காக அக்னாலஜ்மெண்ட் கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. இந்த அக்னாலஜ்மெண்ட்ல உள்ள பாஸ்வேர்டை வாங்க வெரிஃபை பண்றது ஆப்ஷன் இருக்கா?
Sir, what is the question? Break ஆகி வருது சார், கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்க சார், ரிப்பீட் பண்ண முடியுமா?
இது வந்து கனெக்ஷனே கொஞ்சம் இதா இருக்கு.
சொல்லுங்க சார், சொல்லுங்க சார், சொல்லுங்க.
பேங்க்ல லோனுக்காக அக்னாலஜ்மெண்ட் கொடுக்குறாங்க. ஓகே
ஓகே சார்.
அதை வெரிஃபை பண்றதுக்கு ஆப்ஷன் என்ன? வித்தவுட் பாஸ்வேர்ட்.
ஓ, அவங்களோட ஐடி ரிட்டர்ன்ஸோட ஜென்யூனிட்டி செக் பண்ண முடியுமான்னு கேக்குறாங்க சார். இஸ் பாசிபிள் டு வெரிஃபை as a bank as angle.
நம்ம ஐடிஆர் வெரிஃபை பண்ணோம்னா ப்ராசஸ் வருது. ஆனா அதோட இன்கம் வந்து கரெக்ட்டா நம்ம தெரிஞ்சிக்கிறதுக்கு பாஸ்வேர்ட் வாங்காம
இது பாசிபிளான்னு கேக்குறாங்க சார். as a banker-ஆ நான் அவங்க வந்து அசஸியோட டீடைல்ஸ் ஆக்சஸ் பண்ண முடியுமான்னு கேக்குறாங்க.
என்ன கேக்குறீங்களா?
ஆமா சார்.
சார் அந்த क्वेश्चन இன்னொரு ரிப்பீட் பண்ணுங்க.
அவங்க சிக்னல் வீக்கா இருக்கு சார். அவங்க as a banker-ஆ ஒரு அசஸியோட டீடைல்ஸ் ஆக்சஸ் பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படின்னு கேக்குறாங்க. ஒரு PAN நம்பர் வச்சுட்டு.
என்ன என்ன ஆக்சஸ் பண்ணணும்?
ரிட்டர்ன் ஃபைல் பண்ணிருக்காரு, எவ்வளவு ஃபைல் பண்ணிருக்காரு, என்ன காமிச்சிருக்காரு, என்ன அவரோட பாஸ்வேர்ட் கேட்காம.
அவரோட பாஸ்வேர்ட் கேட்காம பேங்க்கருக்கு கிடைக்காது சார். ஏன்னா they can அவங்க வந்து அந்த what do you say NSDL related data மட்டும் தான் பார்க்க முடியும். இவங்க all the banks association அவங்க என்ன பண்ணணும்னா they must actually enter into some arrangement with the income tax department and the NSDL, because NSDL and bank they are providing information because they collect tax and they upload data to the NSDL. So tax data is NSDL irundha da ungalku 26AS ku varudhu. So therefore possibly from NSDL the 26AS data they can view, but whether they can view the income tax return filed data, it is with the income tax department. That server is different, NSDL server is different, bank is different. So therefore possibly they can only view the 26AS information. I don't think they can view beyond that, because that permission will be given only by the assessee. Assessee is a person. Assessee is the customer of the income tax department, and that is the information of the income tax department.
Sure sir, sure sir. With this we can have a may invite Vellore Sikasa chairman Ramchandran sir to address vote of thanks. Sir Ramchandran sir.
Yes sir. Good evening everybody. Am I audible sir?
Yes sir, yes sir.
At the outset, on behalf of the members of the Kumbakonam and the Vellore branch of SIRC of ICAI, I would express my gratitude and heartfelt thanks to our speaker of the day, Shri Ca.Gopala Krishna Raju sir. Sir has been a guide and a mentor for both the branches for a quite number of years. He has never said no for us. On a lockdown Sunday evening, he has gladly accepted our invitation and has come and spoken about the new ITR forms, always very complicated topics, the ITR forms, and sir always makes it simple to us. And heartfelt thanks from all the members to you sir. And I also thank all the members of the Kumbakonam and Vellore branch of SIRC of ICAI for having participated today and have been interactive also. Looking forward to meet everybody in another CP event. Thank you one and all.
Thanks a lot sir. Thanks sir.
Thank you sir.
Thanks.